Good afternoon, parents, family members, and students. Good afternoon, graduates. I want to thank everyone for being here today. I'd like to remind students that all the commitment and all the time that you have put in to make this day possible has been at least equaled by all the members sitting here in front of you. And while this will not be your only graduation, while this will not be your most important graduation or transition into adulthood, I would like to recognize all the parents and all the family members that made this possible. So I'd like to make this one request. If we could have parents who have been members of our Barton community for at least 10 years, please stand. Parents at the Barton community for more than 10 years, please stand. If we could have parents at the Barton community for more than 15 years, please stand. Do we have any parents here more than 20 years? Good for you. 15 years? We were going to get special monogrammed hall passes for you to use, since you probably signed in about 1 million times. But I say that with all honesty, that as the parents of these graduates and as members of the Barton community, you have helped sustain us, you have helped empower us, and you have helped remind us of how our course should be. You have supported our teachers, you have supported our staff, and you have made this day truly possible. And I want to thank you very much. Thank you.
At this point, we would like to call to the front of the podium several Barton graduating 8th graders. It's always best to let the graduates speak for themselves as they move on. So, can I have up at the stage? Do you want to read off the order? Flora's going to read them off.
Okay, the order would be Aisha Ali from room 20. And so if you'll just come up and line up here. So Aisha Ali from room 20, Hamza, Natalie, Hannah, Aisha A. Ali, Henry, Ahmed, Arwa, Gabe, and Clara. Caleb.
Good afternoon. Welcome, honored parents, respected staff, administrators, and Principal Scalman. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2015. Before I go on, I would like to thank a special person in my life, and that person is my mother. My mom has given me hope during times I felt hopeless. She has given me courage when I felt I could not go on. She has made me the person I am today. She is the reason I strive and dedicate myself each and every day. So thank you, Mom. Today is a day full of joy and good memories. We may not be graduating high school or college anytime soon, but as we get ready for high school, we should remember these good times at Barton, morning meetings, little buddies, and the great teachers. I'd especially like to thank a few of my teachers who have made the last 2 years at Barton unforgettable. I would like to start off by thanking Flory. Flory has counted on me this year to take leadership in her class. She believed in me and knew my strengths at times of weakness. Flory taught me that one's voice is strong, and that encouraged me to speak up more. I would also like to thank Allison for giving me an amazing year in algebra. Allison has told me every day that my test scores did not matter, but the important thing was that by the end of her class, I learned something new and was able to explain it the next day. And a big thank you to Amber, Angela, Chuck, Gretchen, John, and Sarah. I would also like to thank somebody special who greeted my mom and me with a big smile and welcomed me so warmly to the school, and that person is Holly. Holly has seen me grow mentally and mature over the last 2 years. Now, graduates, remember that a chapter of your life will end and a new one will begin. Always remember your friends, the great times we shared at Barton. As we go on to high school, always remember, once a bulldog, always a bulldog. Thank you. Up next is Hamza.
My years at Barton have been the best. I was able to meet a lot of you people that are now my friends. When I first entered these doors as a primary student, I felt so welcome. I didn't speak much English, and I feel that that's where I learned the most academically. One of the most significant events for me was attending the Courage Retreat. I have been shy, afraid to speak, or even speak at all. But with the support of my classmates, my teachers, and the Courage Retreat, I stand before you at this podium today. I wish you all good luck in high school. Always remember what Barton teaches, never be afraid to lift your voice. Thank you. Next up is Natalie.
Barton was unforgettable. There was ups and downs every day. But I had lots of support from different teachers and principals. They supported each and every one of us and watched us excel to be the best we can be. When I walked through the doors on the first day, I learned the alphabet, and on the last, I will walk out the doors full of 9 years worth of knowledge. In math, from learning how to count to learning the quadratic formula. In language arts, from learning how to read and write to writing This I Believe essays where I got to express myself. In science, from measuring things to baking soda experiments. In social studies, from focusing on yesterday to focusing on what happened centuries ago. I know graduating from middle school is just a small stepping stone, but it'll lead to so much more. It'll lead to high school, that'll lead to college, to a career, a family, and finally, to a future. A future that we can control on how we live our lives. Now ready to change our future, thanks to Barton. Next up is Hannah.
School. I'm not going to say that school is fun all the time. We all know it isn't. There are learning activities that are enjoyable, and there are some that are tedious. This is true of all schools, but what makes Barton unique is that when assignments seem daunting or too challenging, the teachers don't give up on you, even if you want to give up on yourself. They force you to believe in yourself. They will push and cajole until there are no more ifs or buts, no more options, no more can I or can't I. It becomes a matter of I have to. This makes Barton special, and that's what I'll take with me moving on to high school. That's what I hope all of you remember too. Thank you.
Congratulations, we've made it. Through the countless ringing bells, 3,708 hours of school, and long nights on Google, we have done it. Well, once upon a time, 9 long years ago, in a land far, far away called Barton, a journey began. We were obedient little munchkins climbing stairs meant for giants, carrying backpacks filled with every sort of colored pencil existing on earth. At the sound of the bell, huge backpacks could be seen rushing from room to room, desperately trying to reach the next class on time. We were totally devoted to being good citizens of this school. 8 years later, it seems we have switched roles with our big backpacks. When the bell rings, it will be our leisurely step out of class to greet our friends, while the blur of the next generation of leaders rush along the hallway. We've gone from babies to young adults. In the future, you'll come across more than just family, friends, and teachers as you enter new and different places. Find your way of being a leader. You can start by leading your friend to the best White Castle in the city, and perhaps one day you'll be leading the real White House. But through the years to come, I will remember Barton for many reasons, from teachers striving to teach their best to students committed to excellence. a friendly, good, down-to-earth crowd, and above all, the amazing basketball season. When you commit to contributing to society, only then will the world respond back. Don't let life lead you, you lead life, and may the odds ever be in your favor.
I have had the pleasure of attending Barton for 8 short but happy years. During those years, I've met amazing people who have been some of the funniest, kindest, and most empathetic humans I've ever met. At this school, I've grown from the shy first grader sitting at the back of the classroom to the outgoing, attentive, and eager learner I am today. At Barton, I have found a sense of belonging with my peers, teachers, staff, and dedicated parents of the Barton community. I have loved these unforgettable years spent at Barton, a unique and loving school that welcomed me and everyone who comes with open arms. Barton has motivated me to learn, grow, and put forth my best effort. I am grateful to have spent these years here. I'm so thankful of all my teachers, and Chuck, of course. I will never forget these years or the people I spent them with. One of the most important things Barton has taught me is to value every single person who has entered my life and to treat them with the respect they deserve. Up next is Ahmedi.
First, I'd like to shout out to everyone who has helped me along the journey through school. I'd like to shout out to Gloria, who taught me my ABCs and my 1, 2, 3s. And to Jane, who taught me how to add letters together to make words, to add and subtract, and to shout out to Felicity for teaching me how to read and encouraging me to read chapter books instead of picture books. Shout out to Katrina for teaching me PEMDAS and for encouraging me to do math masters, and to Flory for teaching me how to read in depth and teaching me how to be responsible. These 2 years of Flory's class have changed me for the better, and I must hand to her. She's my favorite teacher. Thanks to John for helping me organize myself. Thanks to Chuck for teaching me historical awareness. To Allison for hands-on learning. For Sarah for catching me up when I came back from Africa last year. And to Amber for enhancing my appreciation for literature. I'd like to shout out to those who had a positive influence on my academic career. I'm grateful for my family, especially my parents, who have taught me to respect myself and respect everyone else. They taught me from potty training to using a credit card. My mother has done many things for me, kept me out of trouble, taught me common sense and manners. My father taught me to be the best I could be in all this. He's my role model. He taught me what excellency means through the dictionary and through the words of a great man, Dr. Martin Luther King. Excellency means striving to do the best you can on everything you do, Dr. King said. All that you do reflects on excellency in you. So he went further to simplify what excellence was for ordinary men like me. He said, if a man is to be called a street sweeper, he should sweep streets even like how Michelangelo painted, or Shakespeare wrote poetry, or Beethoven composed music. He should sweep streets so well that the hosts of heaven and earth will pause to say, here lived the great street sweeper who did his job. So I encourage my peers to exercise excellence, do nothing but the best on every task you take, whether it's selling plans for your school or writing short stories or your homework. Be the best you can, always. Thank you.
These past 3 years have definitely been the best past 3 years of my life. Barton welcomed me and my family with open arms and has let us be part of this amazing community. At this school, I have made the greatest friends anyone could ask for and taught by the nicest and sweetest teachers I have ever met. These teachers have been better than I could have ever asked for, and I would just love to thank everyone who has helped me through these last amazing 3 years of learning, friendship, and love. Thank you. And up next, we have Arla.
Good evening. Today, after a long, stressful year together, we made it. Yes, we have. Some of us have been here for only a handful of months, while others have been here for 3 or 4 years. But others made it the whole 9 yards. Now that's an accomplishment, my friends. I personally am a special case. But you can't graduate by yourself. That's why I would love to congratulate the teachers, because without their guidance and awesomeness, we wouldn't have been in this situation. But it's not just our teachers who made this happen. I want to congratulate the people who made it all happen, our parents. Your folks are always there to help you and support you, no matter what. That's I admire. Today, my friends, you shall see the true fruits of your relentless hard work. My friends, I hope you have a less stressful year in high school. In closing, I am proud of your achievements. Remember, you are a Barton Bulldog. Go out there and make a barking difference. Go. I'd like to introduce Ian Ferguson.
9 years ago, I entered here a young boy with ambition to be great, to learn, and to grow as a person, even if I didn't entirely understand what that meant. But today, as I stand here, thinking about all the teachers who have assisted me on my journey, I know that my dream has been fulfilled. My years at Barton have not been perfect, as nothing in our lives. I left for a different country just 1 year after I arrived, and when I returned, many people didn't know me or even begin to understand me. I've had my own struggles with Barton, and I know I am not alone in that aspect. But what makes this community so strong is the open, inclusive atmosphere pulsing through these hallways. I, like every student to walk through these doors, was welcomed and was accepted. I became a leader, and I realized my potential, not only as a student, but as a person in a world with a looming landscape which needs changing. Standing here, surrounded by my friends and my peers, I do not doubt that we can alter that landscape. As we have learned here, nothing is set in stone. Everyone can learn. Everyone can achieve their goals with sufficient hope, passion, and aspiration. And every one of us can teach others what we have been taught here. This is crucial, because at Barton, I gained so much more than an education. At Barton, I learned to understand somebody by stepping into his skin and walking around it. I gained an understanding of this world. I plan to take everything Barton has given me with me, wherever my path leads, be it as a scientist, an author, a teacher, a lawyer, or the President of the United States. I will never forget what this building, these teachers, and this community have given me. So today, I do not leave with a heavy heart. Instead, I leave with one full of joy and passion. I cannot express in words how much my experience as Barton is mean to me. All that I can say is thank you. Last up, we have Caleb.
Dear friends, I have loved spending my time with you, learning with you, living with you, laughing with you, crying with you. I know that after today, we may never see each other again. It's not a surprise. I know we are all moving on to a new chapter in our lives. But I just want you to know that for as long as I'm alive, all of you will hold a special place in my heart. I will have memories of happiness, sadness, anger, fear, and regret. And I know that all of us will stumble, we will fall, but at the end of the day, we always learn. So don't ever forget about me or your family here at Barton.